Right. So disadvantage of the market economy. When it comes to disadvantages in the market economy, there are few disadvantages. That's the kind of topic that examiner will check frequently. exam එකේදී සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේක check කරන question එකක්. So disadvantages. In a market economy. So we can identify when it comes to market economy, there are three disadvantages. There are mainly three disadvantages. In the exam also you need to mention that. So the first one is, in the market economy, resource allocation will be inefficient. So resource allocation is inefficient. Why? What is the reason? Resource allocation is not efficient, or we call it inefficient. Actually, it is because in the market economy, following thing cannot be seen. First one, in the market economy, there are no common goods or public goods. No public goods are produced in the market economy. Because when it comes to a market economy, they produce only goods and services which can earn a profit. Profit එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් goods and service විතරයි එයාලා produce කරන්නේ. So they do not produce public goods. Public goods are not produced in the market economy. That's the first one. What are the examples for public goods? We can take example as clock towers. Clock towers are not there. And street light. Street lights are not there. Right. Then, when it comes to a market economy, we can't see welfare goods, or welfare goods are limited. Welfare goods are limited. Welfare goods, limited supply. That means because they produce welfare goods only, the people who can afford that. So there are schools, but only private schools. Private sector, because we know in the market economy, it is more private sector. Actually, it is controlled by private sector. So when it comes to private sector, they do not produce schools for people who can't afford that. සල්ලි ගෙවන්න පුළුවන් අයට විතරක් private schools තියෙනවා. සල්ලි ගෙවන්න පුළුවන් අයට විතරක් private hospitals තියෙනවා. But others do not have anything. So that is a drawback in the market economy. Right. Third example. So what was the first example? Why market economy is not good? First one, resource allocation is inefficient. Under that, how resource allocation can be inefficient? Because of following things. First one, they do not provide public goods. Second one, inadequate or not sufficient provision of welfare goods. Third one, they do not concern about externalities. They do not concern about externalities. What does mean externalities? Externalities are the thing that provide disadvantage for the society. Disadvantages for the society. As an example, we can take, as an example, if one production firm is air polluting the air, අපි හිතමු ඒගොල්ලෝ dispose කරන ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අපිරිසිදු වාතය දුම් වගේ දේවල් ඇති වෙන්න පරිසරයට මුදාහ වෙනවා. So if they polluting nature and polluting air, that is a disadvantage for the society. And also, if there is an economy, that economy polluting the, not the economy, that production firm polluting the water when it comes to their production, they will dispose their wastage for the natural resources like sea or any other water resources. මොනාහාර ඉවත් කරන අපද්‍රව්‍ය wastage ඒගොල්ලෝ දානවා කියලා හිතන්න මුහුදට. Wastage dispose for sea or any other water resources. That is an externality. So if government was there, it would not be happen. But without the government, it can be happen. So it is a problem with the market economy, because market economy, there's no much involvement in government. There is an involvement in government, but not for the economic activities. They do some basic rules and regulation, and they do actually they provide the national defense. And what was it there? Like they protect the competition, they protect property ownership, but they do not control externalities. So there will be a problem with the externalities, right? So that's a problem. And fourth one, number 4. Right. Number 4, we can take natural resources are over consuming. Over consumption of natural resources. What does that mean? That means they overconsume natural resources such as sea, forest, and waterfalls. They will, or private sector will overconsume those resources, right? Private sector will overconsume those resources. Why? Because actually there's no any rules and regulations to control that. So they will overconsume. And also imperfect information. Imperfect information. That means there could be hidden information. අපි හිතමු අපි transaction එකක් කරන්න ගියොත් consumer and producer both should aware about all the information regard to the transaction. කාර් එකක් ගන්න යනවා නම් කාර් එකේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම details ටික දැනගන්න අයිතිය තියෙනවා අපිට. good එකක් ගන්නවා නම් කෑමක් නම් ඒකේ කොච්චර සීනි තියෙනවද, ඒකේ කොච්චර තෙල් තියෙනවද, fat sugar salt level එක දැනගන්න information තියෙන්න ඕනේ අපිට. ඒකේ expire date එක, manufacture date එක, and who was the producer, all the things should be there. But if government was not involved for that, private sector do not mention those information. In Sri Lanka, it was mentioned because government has ruled to mention them. Government එක නීතියකින් කියලා තියෙනවා. Consumers Protection Act එක යටතේ government එක කියලා තියෙනවා මෙන්න මේ දේවල් provide කරන්න ඕනේ. Otherwise you can't sell the product. But when it comes to market economy, it is only the private sector. Government is not involving for the business activities. Then hidden information would be there. Or expiry date can be erased and it is error, right? Date can be fallen, or false information would be there, hidden information and false information. Right? So these are the main things that why market economy is inefficient, right? Why market economy is inefficient? If someone asks why market economy is inefficient, so you need to mention these 5 reasons, right? It doesn't provide public goods. It doesn't provide welfare goods. It doesn't provide public goods. Not adequate supply of welfare good, or welfare good supply is limited. Third one, they do not concern about externalities. They can harm for the society and natural resources, nature, and they may overconsume natural resources. Imperfect information or hidden information with false information. So those are the things that we can identify why market economy is inefficient, right? So first disadvantage was that ඇයි market economy එකක් හොඳ නැත්තේ? පළවෙනි එක තමයි because it is inefficient. So that is the first reason. එතකොට ඔයාගෙන් exam එකේදී අහුවොත් why market is not good, or what are the disadvantages of a market economy, that you need to mention. First one, resource allocation is inefficient. Second one, you need to mention second one as resource allocation is unfair, or unfair income distribution. Unfair income distribution. First one, resource allocation was inefficient. What does mean unfair income distribution? It means there is rich and poverty gap. People who have higher income and people who have very lower income, there's a gap between income, right? So we call it income disparity. That is the second reason why market economy is not good. Income disparity. Market economy එකේ තියෙන දෙවෙනි අවාසිය තමයි ඒක. Income disparity. Under income disparity, there is higher rich and poverty gap. දුප්පත් පොහොසත් gap එකක් තියෙනවා. Rich and poverty gap. And also there are poor people who can't afford basic human needs. Basic human needs. And the third one, why market economy is not good? The third reason is economic instability. Economic instability. Economies are unstable. What does mean economic instability? That means economic problems can be there. Right? Economic problems. What are the economic problems? අපි තුන් කාලයකට එකපාරටම inflation එකක් prices වැඩි වෙනවා. Inflation. ඊට කාලයකට අපි හිතමු එක මොනවා හරි good එකක් හොයාගන්න නැහැ limited. දැන් අපි හිතමු මේ දවස්වල පොල් හාල් ඒ වගේ දේවල් ටිකක් අඩුයි market එකේ. So economic recession or economic problems are there. Inflation, unemployment. Some of people do not have job opportunities. Unemployment. Right? Those economic problems can be there. Right. So these are the disadvantages in a market economy. First one we identified. First disadvantage is resource allocation is inefficient. Why we identify resource allocation is inefficient? Because there are no adequate public goods. Actually, public goods are not provided by the market economy. Why? Because they can't earn any profit through the public good. We do not pay for the clock towers. We do not pay for the street lights. And then government, there is no any government in market economy since private sector eකට profit ඕනේ හැම වෙලේම. Because of profit earning incentive in the market economy, private sector do not provide clock towers, street lights and other public goods. Welfare goods are limited. They provide welfare goods but limited supply because private sector, all the people cannot afford private education, private hospitals in the economy. Some of them can, but others can't. Then private sector or market economy only produce welfare goods, people who can pay for that. Then in Sri Lanka, when it comes to private hospitals, there are limited amount of private hospitals. Hemas, Helis, or Asiri, Navaloka. There are very limited amount. Then people who can't afford that hospital facilities, they can go for the government hospitals. But when it comes to market economy, government is not there. Government has very limited rules and regulations. So actually government have very limited involvement to the market economy. So they do not provide welfare goods. When it comes to externalities, private sector do not concern about externalities. They care only about profit and their survival, right? Their existence. They do not concern about society or nature. Then fourth one, overconsumption of natural resources. If government is not there, private sector will overconsume natural resources. And then imperfect information, that means hidden information can be seen. So that is why resource allocation is inefficient in the market economy. So when it comes to disadvantages in the market economy, there are three things. First one, resource allocation is inefficient. Second one is unfair income distribution between a household. That means rich and poverty gap is there. There are some people who can't afford basic needs. There are beggars, so that will be a problem. So third one is economic instability. That means economic problems are there, such as inflation, unemployment. So this is why market economy is not good for the, not good, right? Disadvantage of the market economy. Right. We'll see. Take the tutorial. Right. When I share the screen, you can see the tutorial. So we discuss merits of the market economy. Here we go. First one. Situation where market economy fails to allocate resource efficiently. Right here. First one, write down situation where market economy fails to allocate resources efficiently. Situations where market economy fails to allocate resource efficiently. Right. Second one. So we'll read under that. This is a situation where that market economy fails to react to price signals, or price signals are manipulated by monopoly firms. That is the imperfect competition. That is also one situation that we didn't discuss under this scenario. But anyhow, we can identify imperfect competition is there. That means monopoly firms. ඒ කියන්නේ market එක control කරන situations තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? What does mean monopoly firms? Monopoly firms can be there. That is also one way to arise, one way of inefficiency. That means one firm or few firms control the market. In Sri Lanka, we can see monopoly, not much monopoly, but there's a monopoly in mobile network. Dialog and Mobitel have the control power to the market, right? Networks, and also when it comes to gas, Laugh and Litro, those have controlling power. But in market economy, it is exist for only one firm. තනිකර market එකම control කරන්නේ එක firm එකයි. අපි ඒකට කියනවා monopoly firm. Monopoly. So that is also the fifth situation, because of why the resource allocation is inefficient. We'll see. Right. Here, imperfect competition, that means monopolies can be created. This situation that market economy failed to react to price signal, or price signals are manipulated by monopoly firms. Right? If market economy, if the total economy has only one firm, that is a monopoly situation. Second one. Second situation, not concerning about externalities. Consumers and producers only take decisions based on their private cost and benefit. However, they fail to look at external cost and benefit that has to be borne by total society. They do not concern about total, they do not concern about society. Due to consumption and production, whatever thing happened to the consumption and production, they do not care. Example, environmental pollution. And third one, non-provision of public goods. Since producers are only motivated by their individual profit expectations, they do not provide goods. Those are essential for the society, but on which a price cannot be charged. ඒගොල්ලන්ට price එකක් charge කරන්න බැරි නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ supply කරන්නේ නැහැ ඒ කියන specific good එක. National security, lighthouse. Right. Inadequate provision of merit goods. Here I think it's better if we write down, instead of national security, put street lights. Right? Put street lights, that's better. Instead of national security, put street light. I can't write, but anyhow, write down it as street light. Then, fourth one, inadequate provision of merit goods. Inadequate provision of merit goods. Even though merit goods are supplied, it is not sufficient for the total requirements of the society. Education and healthcare. Only education and healthcare exist for the people who can afford. සල්ලි තියන අයට විතරයි ඒක තියෙන්නේ, අනිත් අයට නෑ. And next one, over provision of demerit goods. What does that mean? That means the demerit goods are over provided. Cigarette and alcohol, drugs, they can be over provided. In America, we know they have many impact to the market because they can purchase a pistol or gun from the market with the license. They can have drugs, limited amount with them. So that is that will create what will happen? The problem, social problems can be arised. So over provision of demerit goods. That means drugs and arms. Arms mean here here arms mean weapons, right? Over provision of demerit goods. So if there is only private sector, what do? They concern about actually their welfare. So profit ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඕන good එකක් market එකේ supply කරනවා. Right. And then what's the next one? Over-consuming common resources. That means natural resources are the common resources. They are over-consuming. Sea beach, grassland, ඒක ග්‍රැඩල් තියෙන grassland කියලා ඒක දාගන්න GRASS. Grasslands, parks. They are over-consuming common resources. Then imperfect information, right? I told you there should be perfect information. Have more information than I can know. But the thing is, in market economy, there is no perfect information. Hidden information can be there. There are hidden information, right? So next one. Second one, write down. Second one, market economy does not make sure equal income distribution. Therefore, there is a significant disparity between different income classes. Market economy does not make sure equal income distribution. That means income disparity. දුප්පත් පොහොසත් gap එක වැඩි. Why? Because it is not concerned about the equality. Equal nè. So that's the second one. Justice of the society and rich and poverty gap is high. Injustice. Injustice of the society and rich and poverty gap is high. And the third one, write down macroeconomic instability. What does mean macroeconomic instability? Market economic system does not always provide best solution to macroeconomic issues such as unemployment, inflation, and balance of payment. Write down those two situations. Right. So those are the situations where the market economy can be fail or disadvantages. Right. Next topic, command economic system.